Hi friend, welcome back to the channel. Have you heard of the phrase, it takes a village to raise a baby? Well, why does it end there? Why can't adults have villages too of people that are supportive and love them and things like that? I'm a Black woman, obviously. I'm pretty independent. I'm pretty emotionally and mentally strong. Not physically though, because I'm not strong at all that way. I have terrible upper body strength. But there's this notion we as Black women need to be like strong and independent, but sometimes I want to be loved on. I want to be cuddled. I want to be taken care of in any way, shape, or form. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today is how to like thrive on your own and be surrounded by people that can like love on you and make you feel really, really good about yourself, especially if you're like me, somebody who has chosen to isolate herself from her family and close friends just to be on this journey of independence and be on my own. And also, if you're somebody who does not really have like a lover or a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a partner in life, and things like that. And I'm also single and I live alone. So if you're like that, you need to have people around you to like make you feel really, really good about yourself, or else it can be a really, really like depressing and isolating experience. The first thing you need to thrive is a really nice pet that you can hang out with all day, every day. This is Maggie, for some of you who don't know her. I've had her for about 3 years now. I got her when she was 1, and I've had her for a while, and I really, really love her. She's a very good starter point for somebody that is helping me thrive alone in this world. Say hi. Look, Maggie, you have to look at the camera. Maggie, you have to look at the camera. Yeah. Okay, you can go back now. I got Maggie when I first moved to LA to be by myself again. This was after my divorce, and I had to live by myself. But I wanted to have her because of the fact that I was living by myself again, and it just was not very fun. My house was really silent. There was really nobody to talk to, and I was living with somebody for 5 years, and I did not want to just have a silent house by myself. So I was like, you know what? A pet would be a really good idea. So I decided to get a cat. It costs getting her was actually not that expensive. She doesn't really cost me a lot monthly, although I do prefer cats over dogs simply because I feel like dogs are a bit more high maintenance to take care of. And although dogs are very, very cute, I consider myself a cat person even though I love dogs. So that's the thing. I got her when she was about 1 years old, and she has been my like light and shining armor ever since then. I love her because she makes noise in the house. She keeps me like, she talks to me sometimes. I talk back, of course. Sometimes I'm always arguing with her about food and, things like that. But she does keep me alive and she keeps me thriving every single day. Another thing that's really important, especially if you're like me, is having a community. When I say community, I don't mean friends that you go to brunch with. I don't mean friends that you take lavish, gorgeous, amazingly aesthetically pleasing trips with, because those are very surface level friends. That's not what I mean by community. What I mean is online community and of course physical community. And we'll talk about friends that you can like take trips with later, but that's not what I'm trying to talk about here. You need an online community. For me, I am a huge fan of Real Housewives. I really like Beverly Hills, and I love Potomac right now. That's what I'm watching right now. And that's my online community. I go to the communities to talk about the crazy lives of Real Housewives. I love talking about it, and I can tell you everything about Kyle Richards, okay? I can tell you everything you need to know about Vanderpump Rules. I can talk about Lisa Vanderpump for hours because I love her. And that's my online community. You can find online community usually through Facebook, which yes, I do still have Facebook. I know Facebook is no longer a thing anymore and it's for older millennials. I'm kind of on there all the time, and I have found my community through those reality shows and things like that. So it's very important to me. Another way you can find community online is through Reddit. Reddit is a little bit toxic, and it's kind of all filled with like snarky articles and people talking a lot of negative stuff about each other. That's not as fun. But if you're into that, if you're into like talking, a lot of crap about people, then Reddit might be for you. But Reddit is not what I wouldn't recommend Reddit, but I would recommend finding a very positive online community, whether you're into gaming or books or TV show. I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones, so I am on an account for Game of Thrones. You can always find an online forum or online community where you feel like you have people to talk to and interact with. So that's another thing. So, and then the next thing you probably need is a physical community of people that will help you also thrive. So whatever you're into, for me, I like swimming. So I would love to find like a swim club here in LA and be a part of that. I'm not like an excellent swimmer yet, so I can't really be a part of a swim club because I feel like swim clubs are for like people that are really good at swimming. But I'm not very good yet, but I'm learning and I've gotten better, but the breathing thing is really hard to do. So that's what I'm working on. But if you're a good swimmer, or if you like soccer, or if you like sports, or if you like basketball, if you like video games, if you like books, you can join a book club. So it's like also a good idea to find a physical community of people that will also help you thrive, and you can communicate with them that way. It can be of anything that you want to do. Am I part of any, I'm trying to think if I'm part of any physical communities right now. I don't think so, actually. I don't think I'm a part of any physical community right now. But the thing about I know that it's really hard to physically talk to people sometimes, and I know that a lot of us suffer from social anxiety, and it's really, really difficult. But you can definitely try your best. I'm actually I remember now, I'm actually part of one physical community, and it's called LA Events. So they send me like events that's happening around the city, so I go to those. But I'm not really part of any clubs right now. But if you're very talkative like me, having a physical community is probably a good way to also thrive. Another member of your village that you need is some sort of professional, whether somebody that is a mentor, a therapist, a career advisor, some sort of professional. Usually this kind of helps too if you're in a field that you want to be in, so that they can kind of help you in that specific field. For me, I do, as many of you already know, I do have a therapist that I've been seeing for a very long time, and she also really helps me. But I know, again, therapy is very expensive, and sometimes people don't have those resources. But to kind of, circumvent that, you can have like a mentor that you can go to for any sort of advice. Back to the whole therapy thing, you can also read like a lot of therapy books. You can listen to like therapy podcasts, and that's always a good way to kind of help yourself thrive. But if you cannot get a therapist, get somebody professional that can actually help you guide you. So for instance, I was looking for jobs for months and months and months, and I ended up finding a career advisor. And she gave me lots of tips on how to find jobs and how to like stand out when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to your resume. That really helped me because I felt like somebody was in my corner when it comes to looking for jobs. Because again, applying for jobs was a really stressful situation, especially after I got fired. And I was really happy to have somebody in my corner to help me. Now, the career advisor, she's trying to build her own career advising career, and she didn't charge me anything for it. She just kind of offered to help me, and she's been really helpful ever since then. She is really somebody that I really, really looked up to when it comes to giving career advice. And she's always been like a really good person to kind of, and she's really nice too to work with. So I really enjoyed her, and she did help me a lot, especially when it comes to like interviews. I've interviewed for jobs millions of times, but it's so hard to sometimes like crack down on how to have the perfect interview. And my career advisor was able to help me with that. Again, she didn't cost anything, but she was really, really helpful. Another way you can get a mentor. A mentor is good if you want to, if you are trying to get in a field that you want. So somebody actually gave me this advice the other day. She said, if you want to be a journalist, why don't you contact people that are working in the journalism industry, and like, just to like pick their brains and ask them questions about how to kind of get in the field. And that is an excellent idea, and that is always helpful. I have an old boss that I work with that I would feel very comfortable reaching out to if it comes to like jobs or production work and things like that. And that's always been really, really helpful for me. So that's another way that you can build people around you that will help you thrive in life. The next group of people that you need to thrive in life as a whole is a group of friends. Now, I think that there's two categories for a group of friends. There are the ones that I was just mentioning earlier, the ones that are the ones that you go out with, the ones that you go to clubs with, the ones that you go to brunch with, the ones that you go to the movies with, the one that you like socialize with on a very like basic level. And then there are the ones that you can confide into, the ones that you can talk to about anything and everything, right? Sometimes those two groups can mesh together, and that's fine. But sometimes for me, those people are separate. And I like to keep them that way because the people that I go out with are not people that I can talk to at midnight when I'm going through something really, really difficult. And the people that I talk to at midnight are not people that I necessarily want to go out with or go to clubs with. But again, sometimes those people do blend together and you can find that. In order to find friends, the way I did it when I first moved to LA was I literally, again, went on Facebook and I was able to find friends that I can socialize with on that group. So it was really helpful. I got to like go out with them. I got to like we went to the movies, we went to like picnics, we went roller skating, like all this like really fun things that I can do. But those friends, I would call them surface level friends. They're really nice people to hang out with, but I didn't feel like I connected with them in a way that I really, really wanted to. So that's another thing. You just have to keep those friends separate. Now, I have friends. I have very close friends that I keep super, super tight. And these are friends that, again, I can talk to in the middle of the night. These are friends that if I were to need bail money, they'll be the ones that I can be like, oh my God, I need bail money. You need to give me money right now. I'm in jail, blah, blah, blah. Those are the friends. I don't dabble in like, I've never been to jail, so I wouldn't know anything about that. But I do know that those are the kind of friends that I have, the ones that are definitely, and these friends of mine, they are far away. My closest friends are in another state, right? My another really close friend of mine is an hour away, but he's definitely like a friend that I can count on to definitely get me out of jail if that were to ever happen. So that's the thing. So you need friends that you can hold on to. And these friends of mine, there's probably like about 5 of them if I can count them. Those friends that I can really count on, those friends that I can really talk to, there's 5 of them. So you don't need a huge group of friends to feel good about yourself. You just need a few. You just need like a little bit of people to kind of count on to make things a little better and to make life a little better for yourself. Again, those friends that you go to brunch with, they're fun. I love them. They're great people, but I know that there is a level, there is a wall that is blocked from that because I don't want to get too close to them because I don't necessarily know if they are people that I can count on or confide in at the end of the day. So you have to keep those friends separate. Again, they can come together sometimes, but that's really, really rare. So, and if you have those expectations of your friends that are the brunch friends, they're going to stay that way, right? So your expectations of them shouldn't be that high because guess what? They are friends that you just go to brunch with. So if they don't get you out of jail at 2 a.m., then you know that they're not the kind of friends. There's also no reason to like test them or anything just to see. You can kind of tell when they're, the friends that you can confide in with or not. You can tell. This is the last group of people that you need in your life, and those are family members. And I kept this one for last because I know that talking about family can be a little touchy because not everybody gets along with their families. So for a really long time, I didn't really get along with my family. I didn't actually get along with my family until I was in college. I've always felt very different from my family. I've always felt like I quote unquote knew better. I didn't know better. I don't know anything. I'm just trying to live, okay? But I've always felt like I was so different from my family. So that's why I didn't really get along with them when I was younger. That's why I would always get into fights. I would always yell at them. And I was also a very sensitive kid. So anything that was triggering to me at the time, I've always felt like my parents or my family didn't really understand me. And that was always a big deal for me growing up. So that's why I wanted to keep this subject last, because I know that a lot of people don't really get along with their family members. So the thing is, I'm not very close with my parents. My parents, again, I feel like my parents are so different from me that it's very hard for me to connect with them at times. But I do get along with the person that I feel like is closest to my parents or to parents that I want, which is my sister. My older sister is somebody that I'm really, really close to, who she's one of those people that I can definitely confide in. I don't know if she'd be able to bail me out of jail or not, but I can definitely call her if I am in trouble. And she's going to be able to do something, whether collect money to get me out of jail or call other friends to get me out of jail. She'll be able to do things like that. But so she's the next person that I feel like is a good family member of mine that I feel like is a very close to parents that I have. And she's the parent that I kind of wish I had when I was younger, because I wasn't so close to my parents growing up. And that does happen sometimes when it comes to family members. So if you are not getting along with your family, you need to find the next best thing, whether that is a cousin that you get along with, that is an uncle, or your uncle's wife, or your aunt's, husband, or vice versa. Or it could be like your stepsister, it could be your stepbrother, it could be any sort of family member that you feel connected to should be somebody that you should put in your village. Anybody that you feel like, it doesn't have to be perfect, because at the end of the day, you're an adult and you can choose who you want in your village. And if your parents are not in your village and you don't really want them in your village, then by all means, they don't have to be there. But it's your choice. You can choose who you want to be a part of your circle that will make you feel good. And sometimes I know for sure that it's not family, that it's not, and it's not always your perfectly nuclear family. It's not always your mom and dad. It could be your uncle. It could be your stepbrother. It could be anybody, a family member that you can actually count on. Sometimes I've gotten a lot of comments of people that say, oh, I don't have anybody. I'm like, yeah, it may feel like you don't have anybody, but I'm sure there's always somebody that can listen to you. I'm sure there's always a family member, any sort of family member that will listen to you. Sometimes people get along better with their grandparents than they do with their parents. Sometimes people get along with their siblings than they do with their parents. But if you're lucky enough to have a really good set of parents that you love and care about and that love you and bring light to you, definitely put them in your village, okay? I'm not saying that you don't put your family or your parents in your village. No. Put them in your village if you and your family gets along. But I know that a lot of the times we don't get along with our parents and we don't get along with our family members. But if you look around you, I'm sure there is a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, however many family members that are willing to listen to you, that are willing to be there for you no matter what. I believe that 100%, that there are people that are willing to be there for you no matter what. And I think that's what we need to know, is that even if we don't get along with our core family, there's cousins, there's aunts, there's uncles that are willing to listen. You just have to, again, I said this in my last video, you just have to be willing to have them help you, and you have to be willing to be telling them what is wrong with you so you don't end up isolated and feeling really bad. I'm lucky enough to have a sister that is willing to help me, guide me through this. When it comes to my sister, she is the one that I would want a significant other to meet before my parents, just because I'm not that close to my parents. So you have to find people, any family member that is willing to listen. But again, you have to be willing to make that step and have them in your village. In conclusion, having a village is not an overnight process. I've been doing this for over 15 years, and I'm not going around telling these people that they're a part of my village, they're a part of my, this is not like a club, it's not like a culty thing. I'm not going around telling people that, but I know in my head that these people matter to me and they are helping me thrive every day, and I see it like that. Again, you don't have to go around telling them do you want to be a part of my village? Do you want to be a part of my family? No, you don't do that. But know that there are people around you. Make a list of people around you that are going to help you thrive a little bit. So it doesn't have to be an official thing, it doesn't have to be. Yeah, you can probably reach out to people and ask them to be your mentor, of course, but it doesn't have to be this official thing. You could just select people around you that will make you feel good. At the end of the day, the point of my channel is know that you are not alone, and know that people are going to be there for you no matter what. And you need to start having those people today. And I know, again, I know it's going to take a bit. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. You just have to look for them. You have to search for them. And then as long as you don't feel isolated, you don't feel alone, you don't feel bad at the end of the day, everything will be fine. Have people in your corner, look around your circle, look around people that actually care about you and that want to help you, and you will be okay. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you back here for more. As always, remember to like, subscribe, and follow, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.